Hi, I'm Paul Wagner, and I'm at Bridge Gardens. And one of the questions I've been, people been asking of me a lot is, what's up with my lawn? And we're having a very hot, dry summer this year, and it's also been quite humid as of late. And so there are a number of things popping up, diseases, turf diseases, as well as really just dry spots in the lawn from all the heat. And you can see some kind of dry patches in the lawn behind me here, and then you can see some little spots of brown throughout the grass. And this is actually may look like dry grass, but it's actually a disease called dollar spot. So dollar spot is actually a disease that will it's very active in the midsummer when it's hot and humid, and it will really attack many of our grasses. We have cool season grasses for the most part here on Long Island, so they like it a little bit better in the spring and the fall, and they stress out a little bit in the midsummer. This is a kind of classic dollar spot. There's two lesions on this, but it's basically your green grass with a tan stripe, and then a white area, another tan stripe, and then green again. You could see a little bit coming up in the top here. So, and it usually ends up shaping like an hourglass, which has happened here. And that's your classic dollar spot. And the presence of that will tell you, is it a disease or is it just a dry brown patch? Dollar spot is actually very treatable. It's treatable organically or chemically. A lot of people will use chemical fungicides, and they generally do last longer than the organic fungicides. But if you are somebody who's very interested in using organic products because they're safer and less harmful for the environment, there are multiple organic fungicides that will give you some good level of control of dollar spot. They probably need to be treated about every 10 to 14 days, as long as we have these hot, humid conditions. Dollar spot is mostly just an aesthetic pest or aesthetic problem. So it does make your lawn unsightly, but it's not going to kill off sections of your lawn. Your lawn will recover if you don't want to treat it. So I'd like to talk a little bit about a few different weeds that you see in the summer in our lawns. First one here being nutgrass. And this is actually a weed that it's actually a bulb, and it can grow at a rate much faster than regular grass. And so if you've ever had your lawn mowed or mowed your lawn and then noticed weeds popping up above the height of the cut within like a day or two, you probably have nutgrass. So nutgrass have small nutlets. If you hand pull them, the little bulb or nutlet is actually left in the soil. So you've kind of have thought maybe you did a good job weeding by taking all these out, and then they do pop right back. The way to really control this without using a chemical herbicide would be to hand pull them maybe for 3 or 4 weeks in a row. And you can hand pull them. There's a little bit of stored energy in that bulb. It will shoot up another sprout, and you can pull out the sprout again, and sooner or later you will starve the bulb. And that's generally how you would control these. So it's a little patience is it pays off with these. And then another weed we have right here is crabgrass, which I'm sure everybody has seen this. The way to help control this without using any products is to keep your mow height very high, and they basically will shade out the seeds on the surface. So keeping your mowing height high, and mulching your grass clippings. Believe it or not, as you mulch your clippings, as they lay down in between the blades of grass, they will act as a little bit of a barrier and help, again, shade the soil surface. And it's not going to be 100% control, but it will help limit the amount of crabgrass that germinates. And you will also see crabgrass usually in hot spots. So areas, there's a hill right here, and you can see this This hill has quite a bit of crabgrass proliferating here, and it's a south and west facing slope, so it's really in the afternoon sun all day. So this dries out quickly. It also gets runoff, so irrigation water does not sit here. So this is going to dry out quicker than the rest of the lawn, and the crabgrass just loves it right here. And then one other weed we have, you may see in your lawn occasionally, is this weed called broadleaf plantain. And this pops up where you have compacted soil. So if you see this, it's a great indication that your soils are a little too compacted, and maybe lack of oxygen as a result, and these do a great job. They can grow in highly compressed areas where your lawn will struggle, and they just pop up. So I just wanted to mention a little bit about irrigation. And summer is a great time to have your irrigation specialist come out just to check the coverage of your irrigation system. Anywhere you have a lack of coverage, it's going to show up this time of year. You'll see, you don't have to drive too far to see brown spots on so many lawns nowadays. And some of it is just, many people like to do what we call set it and forget it. Turn your system on in the spring when it really doesn't need water, and then turn it off in the fall. Again, when it needs water in the midsummer generally, and that's the time when, if you don't have a good spray pattern on your irrigation heads, it'll show up in a brown spot. Or in this case, our irrigation head is off to the left there, and as it sprays over these junipers, the juniper is actually blocking the flow, and it's leaving us with really dry, powdery soil. And you can see the lawn is burnt in just this one area, and this side is still green, and this area is browning just because of lack of water. So this might be a case where a head might need to be moved because the plant has gotten too large now, or the plant may need to be pruned to just allow better coverage of the irrigation. And so it's a good idea to have your irrigation specialist come out and just check your coverage and make some little adjustments so that these type of things don't frustrate you and burn off some of your lawn.